Hello, everybody. This is Witcher the Wizard coming to you once again for the Twin Flames, the Twin Within Energy Report for June 2nd to June 8th. Almost said January. You know, I've always gotten those two mixed up in my head. I can't keep them straight. I'll say January when I mean June, June when I mean January. Oh, well. And it's funny, I was talking with somebody today who knows me from this channel, and they were kind of surprised to learn that that Witcher is my actual last name. And that's why I call myself Witcher the Wizard. It's kind of a funny thing because of the witch and the wizard. At any rate, yes, that is my last name, my birth name. Just thought I'd point that out in case it wasn't obvious. Guess not. Anyway, here we are again. It's kind of later on a Sunday. I meant to get this done early in the morning, and yet somehow my Sunday mornings just seem to be really busy. But it's in the evening. Kind of glad that I waited because I had some really good conversations today. Some good conversations, some good emails, things like that. So I feel, my energy's good. I feel like I'm in the right mindset. Of course, as we know, it's always the right time. Even if your energy isn't feeling good, if you're not in the right mindset, it's still the right time to do whatever. Just do it. So, as always, I pull one card for the feminine energy, one card for the masculine energy, and then I tie it all together with an oracle card if I don't forget to actually do the oracle card. I've done that before. And even though I am on the twin flame path, I've gotten to the part of my journey where I really focus on the internal as much as I can. And I'm not really focused on coming into union with anyone at right now, because I think, early on in the twin flame path, that's like such a heavy focus. And just along the way, I learned that, they are a catalyst and a mirror. And that's really what their job is primarily, so that I can get the work done that I need to have done on myself. And once that's done, then sky's the limit. The world is your oyster. And what you wanted at the start of your journey may look nothing like what you want once you've reached that level of maturity to start really manifesting the things that you want in your life. That spiritual maturity, I mean. So let's get going. Let's take a look at the card for the feminine energy. I always start off with the feminine energy because the feminine energy is the foundational energy for everything else. Period. And we have the Five of Cups in reverse. So, the way that I personally read tarot cards is, first of all, I don't feel that there is a bad tarot card. It's not bad. There's no bad tarot cards. They're all there to give you information. They're all there to help you along your journey of inner alchemy. And that's how I see tarot cards. I don't really see them as, I don't use them to try and predict the future. I really use them very much in the same way that I use my rune cards, which is to take a look at the energies that are both within you and that you are interacting with in your current field, your current place and time, right? And so because of that, I read every card in the upright as here's the situation that we're working through. And when it's in reverse, I read it as if we are stagnant in that situation. So, we have this opportunity to work through something, and yet we're blocking ourselves somehow. There's an internal block that we're just not getting around. And so when I look at the Five of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Cups is really about, you can see all there's 3 cups that are spilt, 2 cups that are upright. The person in the card, she's looking at the spilled cups. It's, your proverbial no use crying over spilt milk. But it's a little bit more than that, because not only is it saying don't cry over spilt milk, but it's hey, there's 2 other cups that are still there. It's really about lost opportunities. Yeah, there are opportunities in your life that have not worked out. And so often we get really, because we're so attached to those opportunities. Well, I see 2 things. 2 things come to mind. We're so attached to those opportunities that when they don't work out, we can't let go. And all we can think about is the opportunities that didn't show up for us. And what we're not paying attention to are the opportunities that do show up for us. Oftentimes better opportunities. I would say almost always better opportunities. Not always. Life is such that there's no wrong path. They're just different. And they'll all get you to the same place, but maybe one would be a little bit more pleasant for you and your tastes, and the other one's going to be a little more difficult. And so that's how it goes. But there are always opportunities showing up in our life, and so we have to really train ourselves to think in that level of abundance, to where we can let those opportunities go and just say to ourselves, there's more where that came from. It's just like when those abundance coaches will tell you, every time you pay for something, as you're paying for it and the money's going out from you, you just say there's more where that came from. It's true. There's always more energy. There's always more opportunities. There's always more money. We just have to be open to seeing it. So that's what the Five of Cups in reverse is telling me, is that, and I know this is very true for myself. In fact, I have been bemoaning. I turned down an opportunity last year in September, and there were some really good pros to that opportunity, and there were some major cons to it as well. And yet, all I'm really thinking about are the pros that are now gone. I'm not thinking about the difficulties that would have arisen should I have accepted that opportunity. And then also, I'm not thinking about the opportunities and the gains that I made by not taking that. So all I'm really focused on is what got lost. I'm not thinking about what was gained by that. And so, and it's just been causing me a lot of mental and emotional distress, because I've got some pretty big challenges that are coming up in this month for me that I need to tackle. And had I taken that opportunity, I would not have these challenges right now. They just wouldn't exist. And yet what I gained from not taking that was gaining a better sense of who I am. I had these really amazing opportunities and experiences come up that allowed me to have a better sense of myself, trust in myself, trust in the universe, trust in my ability to manifest things. And so I'm not in just constantly focusing on that opportunity that I let go, and the consequences of that, meaning that I'm going to have to deal with these big challenges coming up. I'm not appreciating what I gained by letting that go. So, and it's hard, when you're facing some really big challenges and you look back and say, man, if I would have just made this decision, these challenges would not be here. I would not have to deal with them. And yet, I think the challenges that I would have had to deal with were equally as difficult, if not more so. Um, and yet our mind wants to hang on. It's just trying to keep us safe. So we're always looking at the negative. It's really difficult to look at the positive. So that's why, it's important to journal. It's important to create a manifestation journal and write down everything you manifest, no matter how small it is. Write down all the good things that you manifest in your life so that you can go back and say, this was not a wasted opportunity. I took the other road, but here's everything that I've gained from it. So important to do that. So we don't get stuck in these Five of Cups situations because they can really just rob us of our energy and of our time and our ability to focus on the opportunities that are cropping up around us. She's not even looking at those two full cups. And those two full cups, might be full of something even better than what got spilt. Right? They might be full of wine instead of the 3 cups that were full of water. Who knows? Right? But that's what happens. So, and that's what I'm going through. Of course, I'm drawing cards for the energy, but it's always, relative to myself. And then, if you if you resonate with that, then hopefully I can help you out with that as I'm stumbling my way through things. And so the masculine energy comes up, and here we have the 7 of Cups in reverse. It is a watery week this week. Lots of water, and it's all upside down. So 7 of Cups, generally that's the idea of tuning into your discernment, your spiritual discernment, your third eye and your heart chakra and your sacral chakra are all a part of the energies that are telling you what you truly want to do here in life. And so often we're disconnected from our heart chakra and our sacral chakra, that those 3 chakras together, they can't work, well enough together to get that level of discernment, to know what's true for you. Right? Your mind can come up with any number of things that sound good that you want in life. But it's only when your mind is connected to your heart and also connected to your creative energy, so your sacral chakra, your passion, what you get out of bed for, sometimes what you stay in bed for. But you need to be connected. You need to have all 3 of those chakras connected, up and running, open, connected to them, listening to them, to really start to be able to filter out all these different things that you might be interested in, that look good on paper. This is my card. It's like, looks good on paper. I myself, the job that I walked away from in Silicon Valley, the head of product operations for a Japanese video game company, looked good on paper, but it just was not feeding my soul. And the amount of effort that you have to put into that kind of job, if it's not feeding your soul, it will kill you. It will suck you dry, right? And that's what it was doing to me, and that's why I had to leave. It was literally just sucking me dry, and I was dying. And so I came back home to my hometown, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the hell do I want to do? And it wasn't until I really, sat with myself and went through a lot of processing and got connected back to my heart and back to my sacral chakra, and listening to my third eye, like, being connected, trusting what Spirit was telling me. And this is a big part of why I do this. It's learning to trust. You're pulling these cards out, and they're mirroring exactly what's going on in your life. And sooner or later, you say, "Wow, yeah, okay, I get it. I get it." Um, we're all connected to Spirit, and it is always talking to us, always sending us information. And when you have those three chakras open and working, and you're listening to them, it will be extremely easy to discern the stories in your mind, what looks good on paper, versus what's really in your heart. And the Bashar always says, follow your excitement, and I think that's perfect. When I really get excited about something, I know that that's coming from my soul. There's lots of things. Some people say follow your joy, follow your bliss, but you can be happy about a lot of different things. But it's rare to get excited about something. And when you really get excited, like jumping up and down excited, like giddy excited, that is just your soul screaming at you, like, look in this direction for what you want to do in life. And when you're tuned in and able to listen to that, then it's not as hard, or maybe even not hard at all, for you to figure out where you want to go, what you want to do, and what's going to bring you that sense of fulfillment in life. Because my greatest fear is, on my deathbed, I look back at my life and I say, fuck, I just wasted my time here, and I did not do the things that I wanted to do. And the only things at that point that are really going to matter are the things that your soul really, really wants, that your heart really craved. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you did, how much prestige. None of that is going to matter if the thing that your heart really wanted to do just didn't get done because you were not willing to slow down and listen to your heart. And so, and it's just so easy to get scared away from that. More and more, I'm getting into what I want to do. I'm doing energy work with people. I'm doing intuitive readings. I'm in the process of getting myself certified for Vedic astrology readings. And not that I don't like Western. I think that there's actually some really good aspects of each, and I think they both have a very specific purpose. Still trying to figure out that connection and exactly how to describe it. But what I like about the Vedic is that it gives you, first of all, it uses sidereal positioning of the stars. That means when you're on the earth and you look up in the sky, what's exactly above you, versus Western, which is tropical, and it's the stars, the position of the stars in relative to the sun, not to the earth. And so the Vedic astrology is very earth-based. It's very here in the moment. It's like present. It's like grounded. What are you doing? And it has some really great tools for based on your astrological chart to like give you these tools to help you move forward in your life. And so that's what I really like about it. It's not as it's not quite as deep as Western astrology in that you don't have to do a lot of philosophical pondering about your chart and how it relates to you, your emotions, your experiences, etc. So it's just kind of more like, here, say this mantra, wear this necklace, pray to this god or goddess, etc., and you will do well, right? It gives you some just immediate things that you can do to make your journey more productive more quickly, right? And so, yeah, I'm doing these things, and yet, like every other day, I keep thinking to myself, oh, it would be so easy, like I just want to go get, a fairly high paying job and do the stuff on the side. And it's tempting and tempting and tempting. And yet, if you do that, it's really difficult. It's really hard to have a high paying job without really being all in on it. Um, and 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 that seems to be like what's going on these days in America as far as jobs are. Like you either have a low paying job or a high paying job. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground anymore. And so either you're all in or you're financially struggling. And and what I really want to do is I want to wake up every day and I want to do this. And I want to do it well enough to where I can meet all my financial needs. My ultimate goal is to help people empower themselves. Self-empowerment, it's what it's all about. It's what we're all here for. To really come into connection with ourselves. And do our life's purpose. Sorry, my computer is, I don't know, it's like something and it's starting to freeze up a little bit. But so, yeah, the Seven of Cups in reverse. How are we disconnected from ourselves? How are we not listening to what our soul really wants us to do? How are we letting the stories of our mind, again, distract our energies from what we know we're here to do? Because once you clean this up, it's kind of like the spring cleaning. You've got all these cups, and you're trying to figure out which one to pursue. And when I create my own deck, and I'm going to create my own deck, I'm going to show the Eight of Cups is basically it's like the Seven of Cups, except this person has chosen one of them and is walking off with it. And so the other cups are left behind. And like these 7 cups are left behind, and then the 1 cup that he's chosen, he's walking off with. And it's actually the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is the one that's from your heart. It's also that cup that's coming out of the clouds in the 4 of Cups. It's your soul's desire, right? And so these are all coming from the mind, but the only one that really matters is your soul's desire, what's coming from your heart, right? So we gotta think about like what's blocking that. How are we distracting ourselves with that, and getting our energy pulled away, Okay, so that's it. I'm going to now pull the Oracle card. It is, well, I don't know. It is details, in reverse. I've never had this card. It's going to be interesting. Details, in reverse. Doesn't sound good, but it kind of sounds like I think it goes well with the reading. Details. The most powerful patterns are created within the tiniest details. Pay attention. Yeah. Sounds like it's going to help us figure out why we're getting distracted. In reverse, heed the gentle warning that perfectionism will not lead you to what you desire, but instead will steer you away from it. Sounds like what I'm dealing with. Nothing will be good enough when you become obsessed with being perfect. No one can ever measure up to your scrutiny, and nothing that you can ever do will assuage that general feeling of not being up to par. You're perfect already, just as you are. Reversed, the details card challenges you to accept things as they are in all their imperfection, to step into the world and engage it without any expectations. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Well, that's interesting because I have a horoscope app that I really love, and I read it every morning, and it's just like it was written for me. Whoever's writing the Cancer one just writes it for me. And so this Monday or Tuesday, the part of what came up in that horoscope was the phrase of, you are exactly where you need to be. And so, yeah, that fits. It's like, stop trying to figure out what else could have happened. Stop thinking about those lost opportunities, or what might have been, or what could be different, and just look at what's going on right here. We brought ourselves to this moment in time for a reason. This is not an accident. Our higher souls do not make accidents. We're here for a reason. Let's take a look around and see the opportunities, and stop looking behind and see the lost opportunities, but look around us right now and see what there is. Because there's a lot. There's just, again, poverty is when you stop looking for the abundance that surrounds you. It's not my saying. I don't know whose saying it is. I love it. And then, yeah, we're where we need to be. So let's stop looking off to the future, or imagining what might also be, and just sit with our hearts and do, like a 2-minute meditation where you focus on your breath and you put your attention in your heart chakra. Do that 2 minutes every day, and it will help clear things up. I hope that was helpful for everybody. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed, please do. If you would like to leave a comment, I would love for you to leave a comment. And gosh, I hope we all have a good week. I know that kind of sounded like a rough reading, and I don't think it has to be rough. I don't think it has to be difficult. I think we just have to be willing to understand that it's our choice. It's our choice. Do we want to be in these energies and struggling against them, or not? And it's as simple as that. I have a guy who does pineal gland activations, and he always says that almost every day he asks his spirit guides to give him his lessons in life, gently and easily. But shit, I never even thought I could ask for that. But you can ask for it. And you have control. You may not realize you have control, but you can ask for how you want your life to be. And so let's all do that. Let's all ask to be grounded and centered, present, in the moment, right? Eckhart Tolle. Let's be in the moment, and just, yeah, like really present with ourselves, so we can see all those opportunities that are coming in, and we can be clear about what our heart really wants versus what our mind thinks might be okay or might be great. But it has actually nothing to do with us. So that's it. Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday, and take care. Bye.